Let's do some talent stuff. Shooting stars right now is the very best. Just, it has a ridiculous proc rate right now. Warriors of Loon, I would say that's the second best right now, and Star-Lord actually has a really, really high uptime, but that's mostly due to shooting stars being so good. So Star-Lord is probably a little underpowered right now, but it's fine for what it is. Wild Charge, Displace Your Beast are your mobility here. Renewal is better for questing, just know that. Feral Affinity, the DPS from Feral is minimal. You don't really use it, just testing it out earlier. Guardian is nice. It's probably going to be your default raid talent right now. Resto Affinity is by far your best option for leveling. Just that extra healing does make a pretty big difference. Mighty Bash, honestly it's not that useful. You're going to be pulling a little bit more than one mob at a time. Tingling Roots doesn't really help. Just know that. Typhoon is your best option overall. Stellar Flare does quite a bit of damage. I'm not exactly sure how much damage the Solar Empowerment will do when it consumes one of each. I don't know if it's dot based or direct damage based. I have to do more testing on that. Incarnation, it is what it is. Soul of the Forest is what it is. Soul of the Forest is probably going to be your best option for questing and leveling. Stellar Flare would probably be your best option for dungeons and things with a lot of multi-target, as would Incarnation. These two would be interchanged a lot. Soul of the Forest probably is better for single target though. By probably, I mean most definitely, if you have Blessing of the Ancients. But we're not there yet. Stellar Drift makes your starfall radius gigantic. That's putting it lightly. Let's get the right thing going here. Force of Nature will summon 3 Treants, says 0, but it's 3. And they will immediately taunt enemies in the targeted area. They just kind of pop up and look funny. They run back to you until you cast a spell at something. Just an AI thing, they'll fix that eventually. Nature's Balance extends the duration of Moonfire by, I think, 4 seconds right now, and then 2 seconds for Sunfire and Solar Wrath. So tooltip is wrong in this case, but the cool part about Solar Wrath and Sunfire, Solar Wrath increases the duration of all your active Sunfires by 2 seconds. So it's a little bit better than it looks at face value. Basically you press Sunfire, and you can just spam Solar Wrath and Sunfire never falls down. Collapsing Stars doesn't have a cool animation yet. Still fighting for it. There's a little bit of some exploiting, takes a little while to do, and you have to have a bugged shooting stars, or rather overtuned shooting stars, in order to use it. It's pretty fun. You can have it on 2 targets at a time, even though it has a 2-minute cooldown. Yeah, that's a thing. Quick note, Collapsing Stars is dispellable, so it's not as strong as you might think it is in PvP, unless, you know, you're playing with the Window Licker. Anyway, Astral Communion, it is what it is, 75 astral power every minute. It's not anywhere close to as powerful as Blessing of Balloon for Generation, and Blessing of, and she scales with haste, so 3 solar power every 2 seconds baseline. Then whatever your haste is, you get more haste out of it. As far as talents go, you'll probably want this build for a single target. And this is going to be your leveling build, most likely. 1 1 3 3 1 3 3. Pretty straightforward. Just easy. A lot of healing and a lot of damage, minimal effort with maximum results. For raiding, you're probably going to be wanting this. Renewal is good if you don't need Displacer Beast or All Charge. I'll just use Shooting Stars for now, 'cause that's a pretty good option. You will probably not use Force of Nature at all, nor Collapsing Stars, nor Astral Communion. Blessing of the Ancients is just too strong. Mighty Bash will be situational, Entailing Your Roots is terrible, so Typhoon is your default here. You can jump between Guardian and Restoration affinities if you'd like. The Restoration affinity is much better for small group content. Guardian affinity is much better for large group content. Feral affinity is useless. You have these options here, which makes this worse because, quite frankly, these two talents here are better than this talent here. So that's that. Let's do some single target play. Rotation is fairly simple. Let me get these back up here. Rotation is fairly simple. You're going to keep your dots active, and you're going to make sure you keep yourself from capping out as often as possible. You'll notice that Allocan Frenzy has been randomly proccing. That is due to Scythe of Elune. Scythe of Elune causes Allocan Frenzy to periodically trigger without being hit. I've seen it proc anywhere from 50 to 5 seconds, so I'm going to call it at 2 or 3 procs per minute, just average there. It can occur much more often than that, can occur much less often than that. It's pretty high variance right now, so probably an RPPM thing would be better with an internal cooldown. Right now it's a little absurd, but we haven't gone through tuning. And the one spell before we start casting that you'll want to know about is, well, this is Half Moon, but we have a talent called New Moon. New Moon does 110% spell power to the target instantly, and then turns into Half Moon. Half Moon deals twice as much damage, and has a 2-second cast, and as you'll see here, it will move to Full Moon. Full Moon does 4 times as much damage as New Moon, or twice as much as Half Moon. And when you use it, it grants 100 astral power. It says lunar power because tooltips. What are you going to do about it? And then it goes back to a New Moon. So you'll see here, 4-second cast time, by the way, deals a lot of damage. Remember, that's not the actual value because these are level 85 dummies and things. Anyway, you get a lot of astral power out of it. And it's really nice to have with Collapsing Stars. I'll do that in a bit. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. I'll wait for that to drain down. But for the most part, dot, dot, and just cast away. And here we go. So, you're just trying to keep yourself from capping out on all charges by rotating Wrath and Starfire. Well, Lunar Strike. Wrath, Starfire, same thing. Lunar Strike, Solar Wrath. Just don't let yourself cap out on charges, like I just wasted a charge there. And I'm actually going to cancel these because they're a little strong right now. Just so you can see the normal rotation. Right now the generation with Blessing of the Ancients is really high. So if I change that, something different, you can see the rate is much lower. That's pretty much the basic rotation. Just keep your dots up. Cast Star Surge when you got it. And in case you don't have, in case you're doing multi-target, you can see how ridiculous our generation is. So I'm just waiting for combat to drop. Because, well, I don't want to bug this character. Still in combat. Darn. Bugged it. I think. Collapsing Star. Yeah, I bugged it. Okay. Quick relog should fix it. And then from there, we can test some collapsing stars. Collapsing stars is really fun. Okay, let's see. We're going to do a single target test first. I'm just going to put focus right there so you can see what goes on. So dot, 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 and just to show off, what's that ability called? I have it enabled, I do. Remember, the top one's my focus target. So, this guy still has Sunfire. Anyway, now that we're at max, let's just get some dots rolling. And start hitting you with that Hammer of Dawn. And you'll probably see how crazy that generation is. So let's cast some Full Moon. Hopefully it goes off in time. It does. So, yeah, that was pretty strong, right? Imagine doing that on everything. Notice how Collapsing Stars is still running. We're not really doing anything special about it, right? So the cooldown's up in 50 seconds. I just want to show you guys a little trick with it. How much do you get buffed by? Yeah, it's 4 seconds right now. Okay. Tab is really bad right now. Collapsing Stars is still active. And now for the fun part. Yeah, so yeah, we had 2 Collapsing Stars active, hitting things very, very, very hard. And apparently we still have another one up. I can even fight to keep it up right now. Odd fade. Okay. So that's our basic rotation with collapsing stars. Collapsing stars, and try to keep all your dots rolling so that you can power it for as long as possible. Pretty overpowered. Just plain and simple. Pretty overpowered. Force of nature. So clearly see that I am going to hit him. Force of nature. They're not targeted. They taunted, but they're not doing anything. So if you go there. Actually, I haven't seen what they do over here yet. Nope, they just punch over there. Oh, and then they start running away. Nope, that's going away. So, that was Force of Nature. Summons 3, and they punch things. It's pretty cute, I guess. This is not working. Unless I misspelled it. I did misspell it. Cool. So wait for combat. Now, here is Starfall. That's the normal radius. This is Starfall with the bonus. Pretty big. Let's get some things rolling. Probably should have switched back to Blessing the Ancients, but oh well. So Starfall is pretty gigantic. That's with Stellar Drift. Stellar Drift works exactly like Aspect of the Fox, go back and forward. Go the same direction, you can still cast. However, if you go in the opposite direction, when time expires, you cannot cast. See? Okay. Stellar Flare, 24 seconds. Still not sure how it works with empowerment. Not going to worry about it yet. We can move to Warriors of Elune. Pretty simple. Press it, you get 2 charges of a Lunar Strike buff. That makes it Lunar Strike instant. That's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Here it is. Bang. Bang. Yay. Warriors of Elune. Don't take it for leveling. Honestly, Shooting Stars is really good, and the damage from Lunar Strike is not very high. You're much better off just trying to get as much astral power as you can before you can start casting with Shooting Stars and Blessing of the Ancients. It just works out a little bit better for you. That's pretty much it. This is Dreamwalk. Thanks for sticking around, and that was the intro to Bounce Through.